Troy, also known as Ilion, was a magnificent ancient city in present-day Turkey and is famously associated with the legendary Trojan War. Its ruins were discovered by Heinrich Schliemann and Frank Calvert in 1871. Troy had 9 layers, each built and rebuilt on the ruins of its predecessor, ranging from Troy I to Troy IX, with each layer being named with Roman numerals. Troy's 4,000-year history was reflected in the layers discovered by archaeologists. Among the early layers, Troy too was especially noted for its wealth and striking architecture. During the Late Bronze Age, the city was called Walusa and was a vassal of the Hittite Empire. The final layers were Greek and Roman cities that served as tourist attractions and religious centers due to their mythic connections. As the site was explored further, several layers beneath the classical city were found, resembling literary depictions of Troy. This created the possibility that there is some truth behind legendary tales. Despite modern exploration, there is no definitive proof of a Greek attack on the city, and the exact relationship between myth and reality remains ambiguous. Nevertheless, the site welcomes tourists from around the world and was added to the UNESCO World Heritage List in 1998, preserving the intriguing layers of Troy's history for future generations. Troy, one of the most fascinating ancient cities in history, is a city that captivates many with its grandeur and mythical background. The city's origin dates back to the Bronze Age, founded by Tros and his son Elos, and served as a significant location mentioned in classical Greek literature like the Iliad and the Odyssey. Throughout history, Troy has been referred to by different names in various languages, such as Troia and Ilium in Latin and Troia and Truva in Turkish, making it a diverse and multicultural site. However, the city's most prominent association is with the Trojan War, a 10-year-long battle between the Greeks and Trojans over the kidnapping of Helen by Trojan prince Paris. The city's destruction came about due to this war, which also gave rise to the myth of the Trojan horse, a wooden horse filled with Greek soldiers that infiltrated and sacked the city. Despite its mythical nature, the discovery of the archaeological remains of Troy has enabled people to have a better understanding of the city's past. Excavations carried out over different periods have revealed that Troy was a large city with a complex architecture. The city's strength lay in the hill or citadel, where its defensive walls and fortifications were concentrated. Excavations also uncovered gates and houses that closely matched those described in Greek literature. The various layers of destroyed cities found during the excavations tell us that Troy was destroyed and rebuilt many times throughout history. In summary, Troy's charm rests not only in its mythical legacy but also in the archaeology that tells its story. Troy, a UNESCO World Heritage Site in Turkey, has a fascinating history that spans over 3 millennia. The site is divided into layers, with the oldest being Troy I and the most recent being Troy IX, designated by Roman numerals. However, what makes Troy even more intriguing is the discovery of a layer predating the designated Troy I, known as Troy Zero. Archaeologists have unearthed numerous artifacts from each layer, providing valuable insights into the lives and customs of people who occupied Troy in the past. However, determining the exact dates of these discoveries is still a challenge due to the limitations of the C14 dating method. Despite the challenges, the archaeological discoveries at Troy have been critical in shaping our understanding of ancient civilizations. From the legendary Trojan War to daily life in ancient times, the rich history of Troy continues to fascinate people from around the world. A long time ago, in ancient Greece, there was a city named Troy that was founded about 5,000 years ago. It was one of the oldest and most famous cities in all of Greek mythology. The city was situated on the eastern shore of a shallow lagoon, and even though it was not as big as later settlements, it was widely known for its huge limestone fortifications. These fortifications were continuously maintained and strengthened to protect the inhabitants from invaders. The homes in Troy were made of stone and mud brick, and many were attached. Some houses had a megaron layout, with one particularly large one that stood out from the others. The houses were oriented in such a way that they were parallel to the southern walls. The area was full of interesting artifacts such as dark-colored handmade pottery, copper objects, and a massive stone stele that had the image of an armed warrior etched on it. The founder of Troy was said to have been someone from a neighboring town like Kumteep or Gopanar during a period of settlement consolidation. These towns had previously been a part of a network that had cultural and economic ties to the Eastern Aegean and Southeastern Europe. The architecture and site planning of Troy bore striking similarities to other sites in Thessaly, Southeastern Europe, and the Aegean, such as Polyokni in Lemnos and Thermi in Lesbos. Troy, however, did not have the closer connections to central Anatolia that it would develop later on. Troy's existence came to an abrupt and fiery end circa 2550 BC for reasons that are still unclear. The city would then move on to the next stage of its history, and enormous changes would occur, leading to the famous legends and myths that have captivated people's imaginations for millennia.
Do you want to explore more Greek mythology stories? Who do you want to see featured next? Subscribe and leave a comment below to let me know. I'll see you in the next video.